Today in class we worked on worksheet 3.5, polynomial and rational inequalities. We did a couple of these together, so I'm going to do them with you here on the video so you can have something to look at. On this first one, we have the polynomial x minus 5, x plus 2 is less than 0. So the first thing you want to do, and since it's already factored, you want to go solve each factor for when does it equal 0. So this equals 0 when x is 5, and this one equals 0 when x is negative 2. Okay. Then what you're going to do is go make a number line, and on the number line I'm going to put my point negative 2, my critical point, and my critical point 5. They're both going to be open circles because it's less than, not equal to. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take points to the left of negative 2, between negative 2 and 5, and to the right of 5, and you want to keep the answers that are less than 0. Well, numbers less than 0 are negative numbers. So anytime I get a negative number, I'm going to shade that area. So I'm going to pick a number over here. I'm going to pick negative 3, and I'm going to go plug negative 3 in right here. Negative 3 minus 5 is going to be negative 8. Negative 3 plus 2 is going to be negative 1. Negative 8 times negative 1 is going to give me a positive answer. So I'm not going to shade that spot. I'm going to go pick an answer between negative 2 and 5. I'm going to pick 0. That's an easy answer. 0 minus 5 is negative 5. 0 plus 2 is 2. Negative 5 plus 2, that is a negative answer. So I know everything in between here is going to give me negative. And remember, I want numbers that are less than 0. Now I have to go try to the right of 5. So I'm going to go plug in 6. 6 minus 5 is 1. 6 plus 2 is 8. 1 times 8 is a positive 8, so I do not want that section. So the part of the number line that makes this statement true is the interval parentheses, because it's an open circle, when x is negative 2, all the way to when x is 5. Again, parentheses, because they're open circles. Another one I did with y'all in class was number 11, right off the worksheet. Number 11 had 2x squared is greater than 5x plus 3. In order to solve this one, because it's a quadratic, I have to move everything over here to the left and make this side equal 0. Once it equals 0, I'm going to go factor it. So we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 is greater than 0. And I'm going to go factor. Because this is a 2x squared, I know I'm going to have a 2x and a 1x. I need factors of negative 3 to go right here, and that when I FOIL will give me a negative 5. So this is going to be a negative 3 and a positive 1. So let me just double check. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 3 is negative 6. 1 plus x is positive 1. Negative 6 and positive 1 is negative 5. Okay, so that checks. So I'm going to solve each one of these for 0. So 2x plus 1 equals 0. I'm going to subtract 1 and divide by 2. So x equals negative 1/2. I'm going to add 3. So x equals 3. Again, we're going to draw our number line. I'm going to put negative 1/2 on here. It's an open circle again. I'm going to put positive 3 on here and an open circle. When I'm checking to the left, in the middle, on the right, this time I want answers that are greater than 0. So I'm only going to choose or shade in the ones that are positive answers this time. So if I pick a number to the left of negative 1, a negative 1/2, an easy number to pick is negative 1. 2 times negative 1 would be negative 2. Negative 2 plus 1 would be a negative 1. Negative 1 minus 3 would be a negative 4. And a negative 4 times a negative 1 would give me a positive. So this part right here is going to give me a positive answer. And everything over here in this direction. I'm going to go plug in a number right here. An easy number is 0. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 0 minus 3 is negative 3, so 1 times negative 3, this is going to give me a negative. I don't want a negative this time, I want positives. I'm going to pick a number to the right of 3, so I'll pick 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9, so this first number is the 9. I'm going to go plug in 4 minus 1 is up, so that's going to give me a 1, and 1 times 9 is a positive. So again, this time I'm going to have two answers. I'm going to have everything to the left of negative 1/2, so negative infinity to negative 1/2. And then I'm going to use the word or. Also could have anything to the right of 3, so 3 to positive infinity. So that's how the front of the worksheet works. we did number 19 together, and we also did 23 together. So ask a classmate to see one of those. On the back of the worksheet, there were some problems that were rationals. So I think I did 39 with them, so let me do 39 with y'all. We've got x minus 2 squared over x squared minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. All right, so when you have the rationals, we're still going to do the whole factoring thing just like we did in the front. So x minus 2 means I'm going to go write x minus 2. Because it's squared, I'm going to write it again. On the bottom, we have a difference of 2 squares, which we know is x plus 1 and x minus 1, greater than or equal to 0. So when you're solving these, you're going to solve the top just like we did the front. I'm solving each one of these for when x is equal to 0. So x minus 2 equals 0, x equals 2. For the bottom, I'm going to focus on what x cannot be, because I'm never, ever, ever allowed to divide by 0. So x cannot equal negative 1, and x cannot equal positive 1. So when I make my number line, I have to put all these points on there. I've got to put positive 2 on there, and this time it's a closed circle because I have an equal to. I have to put positive 1 on there with an open circle because I'm not allowed to equal. And I have to put negative 1 on here with an open circle because I'm not allowed to equal. And again, you're going to pick a point to the left, you're going to pick a point here in the middle, a point here, and a point here. And this time we're trying to figure out which ones give me positive answers. So if I pick a number over here to the left, let's say I picked negative 2. I have negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. This would also give me a negative 4, and a negative 4 times a negative 4 would give me a positive 16. On the bottom, if I plugged in a negative right here, I'd have negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 3. And a negative times a negative would give me another positive. So a positive divided by a positive would give me a positive. I want these answers over here. If I went and plugged in 0, I'd have negative 2 and negative 2, which would be positive 4. Down here I would have 1 and negative 1, which would be a negative, and a positive divided by a negative would give me a negative. I wouldn't want it. When I go plug in over here, I end up getting a positive here and a positive here. Go check your math and make sure you get positive answers for both of these. So my answer is going to be negative infinity to negative 1, or 1 to positive infinity. Okay. All right, so I kind of give you a sneak peek about what we did today. If you have any questions, please ask me in class tomorrow.